All right, guys, welcome back to Davis Drives at Davis Auto Sales. We were just doing a live video where we were making some new content for our YouTube channel for people to understand how to buy a car from us sight unseen. But in the background, over in this showroom, which was our very first showroom to ever have, which we quickly outgrew, are two of my dad's vehicles, two of four that we still have. He really only kept 4 vehicles around. His personal Super Duty, which is in the backfield in one of our barns, a yellow coupe, and which was very odd. He never drove it, but he still loved it. It's in one of our buildings in Ettrick. And then his 55 Chevy and his 62 Chevy truck. The 55 he'd had for probably 20 years. Well, take that back, there's 5. My brother has in his garage his 69 Camaro, which he'd had for also probably close to 30 years. And that's finished, and Daniel takes it to some car shows now. So, but the 55, that's a manual 4-speed car, pretty fun to drive. Brian takes it to some cruise-ins and some car shows. But the 62 has been the big conversation piece, because anybody that knew my dad or our business, that's what my dad drove daily for a long time. That truck's a 62 Chevy. It's on a 70s model Blazer frame, and he converted it in the 70s. Well, early 80s. I think he bought it in the late 70s, converted it in the 80s. We rode to school in it. It had a camper shell. We rode to the beach in it. It was our only means of transportation for a long time. We've got a lot of pictures of us with all our bikes and four-wheelers, and literally as kids we had to ride in the bed of the truck. So not something you do these days, but we would ride for hours in the bed of the truck. There wasn't any other space anywhere else. There was 5 of us. So it's had a lot of changes over time, but it was always a cool truck. He had it on groundhogs. He had it on BFGs. We put it on some wheels and tires to take it to a show in 2004. Those tires and wheels were put on it. So 20 years ago now, crazy, and they still got the nipples on them. So they're like brand new. And it didn't get driven much after that. He didn't want to climb in and out of it. It sat at our service shop, and it was pulled in and out for years, and one of my employees backed into it, and nobody ever admitted to who did that, but that's why it's got a dent in it. But simple 6-lug truck. It's got a pretty rowdy small block in it. It's cool because the 62s had the cut back window, which he always loved. Redid it 3 different times with body and paint. The interior was done once. We did the motor and transmission and transfer case once. It was kind of a family project. It was a fun truck because we all grew up with it. We all grew up riding in it. My brother, Daniel, the youngest, he would sit in the front, and it'd be him, Mom and Dad, and me and Brian were riding the back. So we took a lot of family trips and a lot of different events we went to, mud bogs, sand drags. Anywhere we went, that was the truck we drove. If we had to drive a truck, wintertime, it was our snow vehicle, taking my mom to work when she had to get there. So a lot of sentimental value with it. It's in the background of a lot of our pictures, and I don't know that we've ever taken the time to explain it, but that's the real history with the truck. It still runs, it still drives. We've talked about putting it back on an old school tire and wheel. He hated when we changed it to those tires and wheels. Even though they look cooler, and they were pretty special when we got them because they're actual Weld wheels that came from Weld when we bought Weld out, and the Nitto Mud Grappler tires. But cool truck, a lot of history. His 55, he did some of the stuff on that car, and the coupe he did as well. And his King Ranch we'll catch a video on. It's a 7.3 King Ranch, which they never made. He took an interior from a newer truck and put it in there. So Dad was still pretty hands-on with his ideas, just like we are today. And there's 5 of his vehicles that we'll never part with. People have asked for years, even in our growing pains of business when things weren't that great. Dad would never part with that truck, and he had some pretty good offers on it, but he never would let it go, and I'm glad he didn't. Kind of taught us, there's some things in life that you can't put a price on. So those are one of them. There's another one of them, and there's 3 other tucked away as well. But if you ever see them in the videos, they're kind of a special piece to us. This is a family business and always will be, and we're at 48 years this June. So long time to be in business as a family business, and it has its ups and downs, but we roll with it best we can. So thank you guys for watching today. Davis Auto Sales, Davis Drives. These pictures in the background are not pictures, they're signs, but they're from our previous businesses. That was his very first sign when he went into business right there. That was hand painted in the 70s. And then our second location, third location, and even down to some of the places that the family ate every day in Ettrick, Virginia. So thanks for watching. Davis Drives, stay tuned. We'll bring you some more family content as well. Might be boring for you guys, but it's history with us. So thank you.